Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? And hey, Donald and Stefan. Let's see, John. How are you? Geezer, Orange Hand. Wow, you guys. Hey, Bruce. Um, welcome, welcome. I I was out and about today, so I got to go to Walmart because they had some popcorn I wanted, and the whole idea is this is for to minimize the contact people have with each other, and so they had it set up for pickup, and so I thought, we'll drive up there and there'll be some place outside we can go pick up this stuff, but not this Walmart. I mean, it was almost like you see these photos of the Walmart shoppers, and it was almost a stereotype of that. They had it in the very back of the store for pickup. I mean, they could have had it in the back. They might have you drive around the back, but no, you had to go through the whole store. We're supposed to wear masks in grocery stores, and that's half grocery stores. So I guess they figured it wasn't important. So I go through this COVID-19 sort of a generating plant. And so I thought, well, since I'm here, I might as well pick up a few other things. And then I got behind this woman who decided to buy everything that there was that it was now on sale Easter, and it was anyway. So if you find me toes up quick, it's because of my trip to Walmart. Anyhow, that was my survival story. Okay, here's what I'd like to chat with you guys about today. Hey, Tennessee and Clyde, and oh wow, Eddie, how you doing? Oh, I had to scroll down there. Mr. Gumby, Mark N, how are you? Forbin, Colossus, and Flippin' Zippo. Hey, Crappy, bonjour. Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about. It looks like the UWD 33.1 is back as a possibility. Uh, when I had contacted him, I contacted him about buying a review copy, so I could take a look at it and then write a review, and then I was going to pay for it. I wasn't looking for a freebie or anything. Hey, Truth Fears. So 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 maybe that's why they didn't get back to me. I have no idea. Um, but so what I did is that while I was at Walmart, I got some more printer paper so I can have some more printed things. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Uh, this is the movement. Now, this movement is in a watch called the Gasa, and this is from 2016, I think, and it was probably one of the first watches they had. And the Gasa is a pretty nice looking watch. Now, this one, the price on it was almost 10,000, was 9,783. The reason that I was asking about it, or trying to find out about it, and even mentioned it, is that I was trying to figure out, well, I wonder how much they're going to want to charge for this movement. And so I don't know. But if their formula is anything like book publishing formula, which is about 10 times the manufacturing cost, we're looking at roughly right around $1,000 a pop for these movements. I hope. That's my hope. Anyway, it's 33.1 millimeters, and I know that it'll fit into a 40 millimeter case because the Zen Zen does use this movement, has it in a 40 millimeter case. Okay, so some of the features on this, one of the most interesting things was that they said they had a floating barrel. And I've never heard of a floating barrel before, except the ones that went over Niagara Falls. And so I'm sort of wondering, um, what in the world this is, what a floating barrel is. Then they said something, well, with a floating barrel, um, it can have, it could be as down to how thin it is, which is 4.3 millimeters. But the Vaucheur with a rotor was only 3.7 millimeters. And so it's like what I'm thinking of with a hand wound. This is a very robust movement. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff in here, and it's 53 hours. It's 3 hertz. But look at these little bell-shaped bridges. Okay, right here and here, and then they have another one, a bigger one over here. But they're an interesting shape for a bridge, and but they have the structure of them is would be very strong without having, something that looks like a worm or something like that. One of those sort of yeah, I don't know if they look like a worm or they look like a banana or something, a banana bridge. So anyway, um, this is the some other stuff about the movement. Now it has a stop second to it. Look at the click up here. The click's a very interesting looking click, I think. A clickety click. Uh, and let me see what else was there about this that I liked. Anyway, now the other thing about it that I was looking at was this is the regulator and balance. And right here, this guy right here, the reason that uh, that this became super interesting, taking a screwdriver to that thing, believe me, is not easy. And to what you want to do with a screwdriver, this goes in here. Here's your swan neck, and your swan neck is pushing against this regulator to keep it. And so what you do with this guy is you push it this way or this way, and the swan neck keeps it steady. That's the good thing about a swan neck. And but see these little holes right here? What they're like is you take a little I don't know, a little like a little stick and you turn it. All right, rather than using a screwdriver, you just put a little bar in there and you pull it. And that's one way that you can adjust it, which I think is sort of cool. And because doing it with a down here to get down there, you'd have to take it out of the case. And that was one of the things that I was concerned about. Somebody asked me, and they had some kind of watch they had, and I think it was a Seagull, and they wanted to know about could they regulate it without taking it out of the case. And yeah, you just, uh, speaking of Seagulls, I have on my Seagull regulator. Um, you can just, you know, do the, take a little toothpick if all you're doing is pushing a regulator back and forth. But with a system like this, where you have that little thing, you can take off the back and you can turn it instead of using a screwdriver, just take a little bar and just now you can take a piece of coat hanger wire and cut it and use that for your gizmo. Hey, Joseph. Um, what was the movement price again, Eddie? Oh, you missed it, Eddie. And we're not telling anybody what the movement price is who came late. Okay. So you and Mark will just have to wait until we get it. I don't know. This is we have our we have our investigator, Drew the investigator, Drew the mystery investigator is finding out about that for us. So I'm hoping that by this time tomorrow we'll know. We'll see. We'll see if they get back to him or not. Hey Dominic, you're right about you have better leverage with that bar. You have a nice printer. Must be Lord, this printer. Let me tell you, my printer. You know how much my laser printer cost me? $100. This is at Staples. I went to Staples one day, and they had these little printers just right, and it has a scanner in it, and it was $100, and it's worked beautifully, and it's a I think it's a Hewlett Packard HP or something like that, and I just got a brand new Lexmark color printer, a color laser printer. But I tell you, I was trying to pawn it off of my wife, the color one, but I like my little black and white one. It does a great job, and for $100, and I don't have to. All I got to do is plug it in, hook up the what is it? I don't know whether it uses a Bluetooth or it uses some kind of part of the just another item on the internet that I can communicate with, But it's a great little printer. I can recommend it highly. Now, once I get my color printer set up, I can have all of this in color, and we can do a lot more with it. Okay, so now that's sort of going back to that, and then taking all of that information and getting it to Wooten, Lannon, and Kalen. Let's just say, for the sake of discussion, okay, let's say that they want $1,000 for it, okay, and this one, once they got finished with this is a pretty simple watch. All they did is put in that really nice movement and charged, I don't know, $10,000 for it. I don't know what they charged for the sin. I think the sin may have been made of gold or something. These come in 3 types of metal. They come in gold, ruthenium, and one other kind. They were all in German. And as you know how fluent I am in German. Okay, German engineering at its best. Price just stopped my heartbeat a few beats. I don't know, Johnny. I don't know how much those things are going to cost. I really don't. Hey, Lee. But if they, say, okay, it's $1,000. I'll sell you these for $1,000. Let's say that just for the sake of discussion, the cases are $1,000, and the guy doing the enamel dial, let's say that's $500. You're talking about $2,500 for a watch with a case by Wooten, Lannon, and Kalen, with a a bespoke dial, enamel dial. That to me, and then you're talking about a movement that is, I think, beyond high horology. I really think it's exceptional. To me, it's really a beautiful one, and you can see it in the details. I put up a picture of my. It's called a Siegel 1711. Okay, that is the movement that is in my perpetual regulator, my little regulator watch. We're having a humble Sunday, so you wear all those watches. But when you have this kind of stuff in it, and 4.3 millimeters high doesn't sound very, it sounds pretty good. I think the other one was 3.7 and one was 3.9 on the two Vaucheurs. So, to me, it's looking pretty good. Okay. Hey, Mark Jr. Okay. Yellow and white, both gold around 15K for sin. It's about 15,000 for sin. That's a lot of money. I mean, compared to 2,500, and sin is, they're not crazy like Patek Philippe and some of these other ones, and they would have a hard time matching the quality of this movement. The Especially since they got rid of the gondola line. I don't know. Okay. Okay, let's see. I've been growing a beard just like Bill's. I bet it's not as white. White. Okay. I'll buy a beret and start visiting boutiques on Fifth Avenue when they're back open. No one will know they're speaking to an imposture. Well, when they talk to me, they know they're speaking to an imposter. It was all right. Let's see. Can 33 millimeter fit well into a 40-minute case? Are you thinking of another case for it? Four, but no, that's exactly right. This is why I thought we better pay more attention to the size of the movement before we start asking about a 40 millimeter case for it. The other one, the one that Rolf Langham was 37 millimeters, and they told me definitely no. The size of both, I think, what's it called? The one I'd never heard of before, Degussa, Degussa. That's someplace in Germany. I don't know whether it's called. Had some funny name to it. It had a lot of consonants without vowels and things like that. But anyway, that they make this now. The Sen is 40 millimeters too. So okay, in a Sartori billiard case, and I wonder if that's something they could do it. Here's another point. In us something. We don't all have to have the same case or the same dial. We can get any case we want. Once I found out that Wooten Lannon and Kalen would do you could buy one case from them. I thought, well, heck, it happens to be a case I'd really like to have, though. I don't know why. It just sounds cool. You know, you got a laying and high movement with a Wooten Lannon and Kalen case. That sounds cool, no matter how crappy or good the watch dial looks. You know, you could draw on the hands on one and have it look good. I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, let's see. The movement would look cool in a Sartor. I don't know what that case is, but I bet it would look cool, whatever that is. Um, what other wait, okay, Tippy, what other than Sin used the UWD 33.1? There's this, let me see, that uses it. See, Sin did, De Gaza did, and there's this German watch company in Munich that does also. Not a lot of them, okay, that I know of. That's another thing that I like about it. It has a certain sense of exclusivity without having to go through the roof on price. I want the teardrop lugs. Me too, Mark. That's why I like the Wooten Lannon and Kalen. Uh, uh, I think I probably know a thing or two about being pretentious, but I love Wooten Lannon watches. But they start around 70,000 or something like that. So it's something that comes down as no time soon for me, at least, unless I win the lottery. And so that's I'll get hit by lightning 5 times, I think, before that happens. So here's a way you can have a really first class movement in a really first class case. And since Wooten Lannon's cases look a lot like the ones with the teardrops, whose idea that I stole lock, stock, and barrel from Ophion. You know, we could that I think would be cool. Now this other one at Sattery and Billard, they may have a cool one too. But like I said, there's no reason that we all have to use the same one. But I think that if we did, we could, maybe group order this or group order that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, oh God, no. God, no. No, 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 Mark. I mean, it's uh, the problem with three lugs is horrendous. Teardrop lugs, three teardrop lugs. I'm not sure what that would look like, but it's not the look I'm thinking about. It's a hassle. Good grief. Regular pin bars. Okay. I it took me a year of scratching around before I got my Lang and Hine just right, because they had to be the gator straps had to be taken off. The watch was sent to me without the straps. The straps were sent separately. And so you have this thing, okay? And then I had a guy, a bespoke, made them for me. It didn't turn out right, but I think he gets it now. I might go back to him for some more for it. But man, you want certain things simple. And that's one of the things you want, a really simple. Even this thing this is an amazing watch, really. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got screwed bars for lugs. I mean, for in the lug rather than spring bars, which are like 10 times cheaper. But I guess they just said the guy had perpetual. Okay, we're going to be, we're going to sell a $200 watch, and boy, are they going to get a swell watch. Yeah, they have. Poor guy. All right, hey, Air Toad, how you doing, man? Display back case is definitely Air Toad. Yeah, that is a definite. And even this one has a sapphire back to it. That's what here's the sapphire back uh on my perpetual. I don't know. I gotta learn how to pronounce perpetual in French, uh, so that I can even be more pretentious about this watch. Okay, we don't know anything about the Lang and Hine gator straps. Yeah, wink, wink. Yeah, something came in the mail. I had no idea where it was from, or I found it on the bus. I was riding home on the bus, and there are these straps. Yeah, we we got to be careful. Mark, that was okay. The problem is, as long as you don't try to hang on to it. Hey, Donald, what's up? Um, do you like Waltham watches? For all of the wrong reasons and two or three right reasons. I love Walthams. Yeah. You realize they were involved in the moon rocket, some of the timing on that. There were some guys from MIT who went out to Waltham they were doing some work with Waltham, and they were helping them doing something with some kind of mechanical timing. See, the problem was, remember back then, this is 1969, and computers were as big as rooms, and a microcomputer would be about the size of a broom closet, and they had to get stuff on board. And so a lot of the mechanical timing devices, they were okay. This back in 69. Um, Your watch has beautiful Gilo setting. It does. It's a guy says, I don't know how he did it. I could see a couple geeks, just sitting there. Oh boy, we're gonna make a watch. It does. This has got great guilloche on it. It's probably not done with a rose machine or something like that, but they did. it's even better looking than it shows up here because it doesn't really show up too well. This is a great little watch, I I think. Oh boy. Okay. Big old imitation gator. What are you talking? Imitation? That's real gator, I think. Let me see. It says, oh, I gotta show you something. This is cool. This is my wooden do you guys have wooden loops? Not because they look cool, which I think they do, but they're very comfortable compared to the hard plastic one. Uh, Let me check it out with my loop here. It says Curie veritable, perpetual. It's a genuine perpetual. You know, there was some pictures I saw, and they had it was in a Chinese grocery store, and they were selling gators as part of the, for your dinner. And they had these alligators for sale for eating. So if they wouldn't surprise me if they had real gator straps on this too. But I don't know for sure. Okay, Harbury makes too few movements to ask them to cut into. Yeah, yeah, I know. I would really like to have an A11. I like those a lot. The A11 on my Felix is it's the best mechanical time device I have. I recently found out that CWC, a British military watch company, reworked movements like the manual Valjuice 7760. Now the 7760 I don't know about. Is that like the 70s, what is it, 7780, or what's the real popular Valju that everybody uses? A Golf Gator edition, yeah. Um, they don't offer a gator strap. How about a golfer strap? The Duffer Special made out of a, oh god. Get textile ones for the golfer clothes. I don't know, new idea. Buy squally watches for pennies on the dollar, rip them apart and yank out the guts, sink into a fancy new case with your logo on the dial and sell them for 5,000. Yeah, this is something that let's talk about that quickly. Tippy, thank you. Um, the In terms of taking it to market, that doesn't interest me. It may some of you, and that's fine. I've got nothing against that. I just want to get a really good watch for a really great price, and see as a project if we could do something like this. Um, who's Mr. Gumby? Have a look and make it snappy. Okay. Let's see. Curry Vernable means genuine leather. Well, it could be gator leather. We don't know. I was going to say the Chinese can't be very good at French. That may be the problem, but they can't be worse than I am. So there goes that argument. Okay. I got alligator for dinner, maybe crocodile due to alligator domestic to the US. I'm talking about do Chinese not have alligators? They're all crocodiles there, Dominic. I don't know. There's, I think I was once offered rattlesnake, and someone says it tastes like chicken, and I didn't want to try it. It just, anyway. Uh, It can be anything. It's mostly the inner hide splits pressed and coated in plastic. Okay. Top grain is where it's at. All right. Not interested in marketing it, although Squash Dog Watch Company is catchy. Yeah. Sort of roadkill watches. Okay. Um, all snakes do taste like chicken. Tippy, you'd know. I wouldn't. I don't know. Okay, so um, all right. Well, listen. Next time, I hope that we get the word on this. Um, Once again, the size is 33.1 millimeters, which makes it really easy to remember the name of the movement. And besides, it's the only one they have. The height is 4.3 millimeters. They keep saying, "Oh, that's really thin." I mean, man, they haven't met Bulgari or Piaget. They have now; those are thin. But that's not fat. That's not like these big goofy ones. Like this is a fat one. Okay, 53 hours floating barrel. Okay, help me find out what a floating barrel is. If this is going to be part of the movement, and they're talking about a floating barrel, and that's why it fits into 4.3 millimeters, that ought to be something we ought to know about, Hey, Chip Gauge snake, the other white meat. Probably is. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. No snakes. You can eat anything, I guess. Yeah. Mark. Yeah. We'll see about that. What we need for them. I mean, maybe we can ask Langenheim simply to send them the total specs on it and see if that would be enough. But we'll see. We'll see. We have to do a few things. I want to have one of these movements in hand before I make any contract with Voutilanen and Kalin. The reason for that is that they will make the movement or the case, but then if we had changed our mind or something happens, um, we don't end up with that movement. Then you end up with some white elephants. We don't want to do that. So I think that's the first thing is get this. Flippin' Zippo and Bruce, if you talk any more about goat hides for watch bands, you have to go stand in a corner with Mark. Okay, I'd I'd need short lugs on a 40 millimeter case. Got a scrawny 6.5-inch wrist. Listen, Air Toad, during this lockup, we've all been gaining weight. All right. So do your part and put on a few pounds. Actually, I know that's not healthy, so I take it back. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. Gumby, what are you doing? What are you talking about that? My goats, well, they don't eat cashmere goats. Okay, guys, listen, everybody be safe. I got to run. And thank you all for coming. But listen, see what you can find out about this movement. The more you find out, the better. And I hope we'll be able to find out on Monday, how much they are. Now they might be if you buy a certain minimum amount. They may be stratified or something like this. I don't know if there's anybody who's talking to them who can wheel and deal, but we'll see. All right, take care.